some of these faces.
We're so far away.
They don't want you.
Okay. All right, so we'll get started. We will have a statement from Coach Etheridge first to start, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes. We'll have questions from those in the room first. We have a few people joining us via Zoom, so we'll take a question or two there as well. After the questions for the student athletes, we'll dismiss them and have a few questions for Coach. So Coach, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate just the opportunity to be here. Obviously, to go first, that means you win. Just proud of our team and how we withstood the first half and just how good Pacific was. It just seemed that they were so comfortable in their shots that they were taking, making really hard shots, and clearly, scored a bunch of points. And just us hanging on a little bit felt pretty good at halftime. I think the key, getting LA back in the second half, a ball handler like that really just calms us down a little bit, especially against those kinds of athletes and pressure. So proud of how everyone responded. I think we showed that we have a lot of depth. And clearly some weapons on the floor and on the bench, and really excited about not just winning this game, but what we think we can accomplish.
Okay, questions for the student athletes. Start over here.
AT, one of the more aggressive games we've seen from you, just shooting the ball, especially with LA out with foul trouble early. Did you kind of take it on yourself to try and create a little bit more from the guard spot?
I mean, I wasn't trying to, but going on with the flow, I see they're going under or they're not guarding the ball screens like how they did before, high catching. So I felt comfortable shooting, and once you make a couple, you keep shooting. And yeah, just proud of my team for getting me open, and they had a lot of assists on that, moving the ball.
For either one of you guys. Kira with 10 points off the bench, 5 rebounds. Can you just talk about the minutes she gave you kind of in that reserve role today?
Yeah, she's just an energy bunny that comes on the court and will give 100% every single time. And she can play defense, she can do offense. She just does whatever she's told. So super lucky to have her on our team. And yeah, she just played really great today.
Okay. Go out in the back.
Once again, for either of you guys, what does having Alex back on the court provide to your team, and having somebody out there who can, just fill up the middle like that? And how good was it to be back on the floor with her today?
I mean, it means a lot. We talked before the game. They outscored us in the paint in the last 2 games we had against them, and this game outscored them by 10. She is a big key to our offense and defensively. She can block, she can rebound, so it's really good to have her back, and just looking forward to playing with her again.
And then Tara, in your opinion, is this kind of an example of when this team is at its best, like that level of balanced scoring, not one person having to carry the load and really having scoring at every position, bench and starters?
Yeah, I think it's just, we talked at half, everyone was kind of trying to do too much, so the second half we really just said move the ball, cut, and that's where the easy baskets come. So yeah, I think everyone just took that to heart and applied that to the second half, and I think we played our best basketball in the second half.
Any other questions in the room?
For either one of you, you guys have seen the growth of this team from day one to now, and all the different contributors, Charlotte at the start of the season, Candace and Dayana taking over the midpoint of the season, just getting all the contributions down the stretch. Where have you both personally seen the growth of this team?
Yeah, I think, we're such a young team, and that comes with lack of confidence a lot of the time, but I think the freshmen have a lot of confidence at this point in the season, and those 3, we call them the Frenchies, they have so much confidence, and we have confidence in them to take the shots that we need them to take, and defensively as well. I mean, Dee and Cha-Cha can guard all positions on the court, so they just impact the game so much when they're on court, and we definitely need them moving forward. So yeah, all 3 of them had a great game today.
Okay, we have one question online for the student athletes. Go ahead, Sam.
Thanks. For either one of you, you guys are used to March basketball, and it seems that you've gotten better. It's not uncommon for you guys to play your best basketball in March over the last several years. What is it about March that allows you guys to play the best, and whether it's gaining confidence, and just what is that? Is there anything special that Coach E does in March that sets you guys up for success?
I mean, Coach E always says at this point of the year, you've worked what you had to work. It's just a matter of who plays harder. And I think that's the mindset we're going forward with. And Tara said it before the game, it's now or never. So, like, knowing that if you lose, you go home kind of motivates you a little bit more than usual, I guess. And just looking forward to win as many games as we can, go into the tournament, and doing something we've never done before.
Okay. All right. Thank you to Esther and Tara. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are they meeting you back at the hotel? Your dad?
Okay. Questions for Coach?
Kind of the same thing I just asked the players. Just Kira's minutes today. I think maybe kind of a summary of what you want to see from her every time she's on the floor. She's hitting threes, she's rebounding, she's doing all the little things, but I know the scoring has been a big point of emphasis for you.
Yeah, I mean, Kira, you know, we all know, if you know our team, she's had a roller coaster ride for 3 years, and I have just loved her the last probably month, you know, and it's almost like, you know, we say it all the time, light bulbs go on at different times in people's career and journeys, and it's almost like she kind of stopped just being defensive about everything and everything coming at her and thinking the world was against her, and mostly me. And she's just responding better, and she's having more fun, and she smiles a lot more, and she, you know, doesn't get bothered by mistakes. And you know, I was giving her a lot more time, and she wasn't shooting the ball well. And for us, we know that's going to come. And this is exactly the Kira that we need. She's athletic, she can guard, but her scoring potential is just huge coming off the bench. And again, I just think she's doing the right things now because I think she's really got the right mindset for the last month, and it's starting to show up.
And then D again, just it seems like she has those moments where she makes a couple of plays that you just don't see very often. You know, just where have you continued to see her game grow, and where do you want to still see it grow as you go through the next, you know, few games here and then into the next seasons and beyond?
I really got on her for messing up that little thing in the first half, and she had someone to her left, but there's times when you just go, she just went through 5 people on a dribble and finished at the rim, and probably 3 of them were trying to take a charge, and she can, you know, just create at the rim. She is really special. You're just starting to see it. She's gaining confidence. Clearly, she can shoot the ball. She can create her own shot. Her handle's really pretty good. So we just kind of have to surround her and make sure that her decision making puts her in positions to not just score but also have some assists. And she's got to have great decisions on that. But gosh, just a talent, and you know, she's only going to get better.
You know, it's such a blessing to have a point guard, quality point guard that can create and get the team involved. But talk about having a dual weapon like Estera and what she's able to do, also shooting. And then in regard to that, the extra pressure she had today because Eleanor was in foul trouble.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't say it, I shouldn't said it in front of her. She, you know, she really is the key to our team. When she plays well, we play well. And that's all the pressure in the world on a point guard, and I want her to embrace that and not feel pressure by that. I think the secret weapon is her dad and her sister flew in from Kosovo, and so they're here for the first time to see her in a long time. So I think he's got her whipped in shape and concentrated in making sure she's solid. We intentionally put her at the free throw line in that first technical or whatever happened, and it was just like, let's get her going, let her see the ball go through the basket. But she was so ready and handled the pressure and handled the ball, and obviously when she can make shots like that, it's big for us. 18 points, is that 6 assists and 3 turnovers? Just and again, all the pressure in the world on her when LA went out.
Cammie, you've got Portland now, and they've had a remarkably consistent season. Won 28 games. I think they beat you twice. What do you have to do differently to flip that?
Yeah, I mean, they're just so hard to guard. I hope we're hard to guard. I hope that's the point is, I think against this team, you really have to score points. You know, you're just not going to stop them. They have too many weapons. They've hurt us on the board so badly. You know, they get a lot of hustle plays. And I told the TV, I mean, when you play Portland, I just feel like they got 5 seniors starting. And I know how hard and how upset Tara is when she looks at her teammates and they're not playing at the level that they should, and they've got 5 people starting going, we're not losing. And the urgency that they play with. And, you know, that's the point. We've talked about that game at Portland. You know, we've got to grow that kind of toughness that they have and match it. And so I think we've gotten better and better and better. I think we have Alex back that gives us another body in the post and a difference maker on the defensive end and offensive end. But it's a hard game to coach because it's so what they play and what they do. Your kids have to just really be smart basketball players and attack, you know, their zone and their press. And it's high risk, high reward, but, you know, excited to play them again, excited to be in this game, and again, love my team and think we're you know, in a position where we think we're gonna get better. We're getting better at this time of the season, and I don't think very many teams are saying that.
Cammie, with such a young team over the course of the season, with some of the lumps you've taken, you've emphasized that this team has to grow up. There's no substitute for getting tested. What, if anything, has clicked in this last month or so to say, this is the Washington State Cougar team that we need to be?
Yeah. You know, I still don't think that always clicks. You know, I think we can have some great discussions with our young players, but I think the biggest testament is when you get beat by older teams and then you listen to your senior, and we only have one of them. And when you listen to how important this is senior night and how important this is and how emotional Tara is for us and how much she wants and needs these freshmen to be grown up and be serious and be competitive and want to win at all costs. And that's asking a lot for freshmen who don't know how to do that yet. But we're getting closer and closer, and I think they see that, and they want to mimic that. She's been a great leader for us, and again, we've got very competitive kids. They want to win. We just have to put our pieces together, and everybody's got to be really good tomorrow.
We have one question online. Go ahead, Sam.
Coach, in the transfer portal era, it's not, I guess, non-common to see former players, obviously Lauren on their roster. What was that experience like? Just, you know, seeing her, obviously you saw her two times this year, but playing and coaching against her, and what were her teammates' reactions as well?
Well, it's been great because, again, when we went to Pacific, I think everybody was a little nervous as to how that interaction would go, but, you know, just love Lauren, love her family. Was so sorry she chose to leave our program. I think she found a great home at Pacific and has gotten really much better. But I think she's really maturing and fun, like she always has been. The kids, they love her. She is a blast and hilarious. And clearly she's happy for us, disappointed for herself. But, you know, for me, I just love, I want kids to go through hard, and I don't want them to expect things easy. And so when they choose to not stay with you, it's kind of hurts your heart. But I love that she's growing up and getting better and found a good place. And, you know, we just hope that we can, you know, keep most of our kids here and let them know that we can grow them through tough times.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Go Cougs.
All right, welcome to Pacific. We'll start with a statement from Coach Davis, then have questions for the student athletes. Once we're done with the student athletes, we'll have a few questions for Coach.
Yeah, just a lot of respect for Washington State, and they're well coached, and their depth got us a little bit today. They outplayed us and came away with a good win for them. So a lot of respect over there, but really proud of our group. This is a tough bracket to try to navigate. Hopefully we get this thing changed.
Okay, questions for the student athletes?
Anaya, you often seem to be the facilitator for your team, and today you went out real aggressive and shot the ball and scored a lot of points. Tell us why you took that mode today, and did you feel like it was maybe my last game? I got to do this, or what?
I feel like the first 2 games, I was just struggling to score, but all of my teammates they still had confidence in me to take the same shots. My coaches, everybody. So I just did that today. They just happened to fall.
Liz, it's no secret that the 3 of you sitting together right now, when people think of Pacific basketball, they think of you 3. When you think of these years in Stockton, what comes to mind?
I think what comes to mind is just the friendships that I've built here, with just on the team or off the team. Like our university is super tight knit, and I mean I have friends that played on different teams that didn't play a sport, and I think that's what I'll remember most is just the family-oriented culture of our university and of our team. And I think we carry our team culture from the university culture, and I'm just super grateful for my time there.
And you went to battle with Liz and Elizabeth for a number of years. What do you mean to do it together?
These are my sisters. It meant a lot. We really started since my freshman year. We've just been here. It just means a lot.
Liz, I think it was you who, at the end of the game, called all your teammates together and sort of huddled there on the court. What were you guys saying to each other? Because for the 3 of you, the 2 of you and Elizabeth, obviously been through a ton together, and this was it.
The only 3 words I said was "I love y'all," and that's all that needed to be said. I just wanted everyone to understand that, like, you know, this is the end, but we had a heck of a season and we had a heck of a career, and I just wanted them to know the love that I have for them.
Liz, you talked about the off-the-court parts of how things have come together. On the court today, you eclipsed 1,500 points. What does that memento almost mean to you? And I know it's hollow with the results.
It's cool. I know I didn't come into college aiming to score a certain amount of points or to win a certain amount of games. I just wanted to get better, and my first year I didn't play at all, so I didn't really have high expectations about my career or myself, but I just put my head down and I kept working, and my only goal, like I said, was to get better every single day.
Okay, thank you, Liz and I. You're free to go, and we'll keep Coach here for a few questions.
Bradley, can you just talk about those 3 seniors and kind of what they've meant to you and to your program?
Yeah, you know, we talked about it in the locker room. They use the word love very freely, and it's all sincere. I think this day and age, and whatever year it is, 2025, people use the word commitment too freely, and it rings pretty hollow when you see 100% committed on whatever Twitter or X or Instagram. But you look at these 3 and the commitment that they've showed to Pacific, the commitment they've showed to this university over the course of 4 years and 5 years. You don't see that very much anymore. You know, all 3 with over 1,400 points, and life isn't easy every single day. And I think we're doing our 18 to 22-year-olds a disservice by just allowing willy-nilly leave because of this, leave because of that, go here because of this. It's just we're not raising the right kind of people, and these 3 are just unbelievable young women, and the commitment they've showed to the university will pay off tenfold in their futures.
Bradley just hinted at it in the type of commitment. Things are hard. Progress isn't always linear. What type of commitment did they show to you personally?
Yeah, it's you know, I'll bring the word love. Like, you know, we've argued, we've hugged, we've done it all, and that's what it is. And, you know, and you know, you guys asked me about the amount of wins I had, and I yesterday, and I talked about the players, and that's really what it's about. They're the ones that do the winning and the losing. I'm just here to support them, and hopefully give them an avenue and opportunity to succeed. And I couldn't be more proud of these three.
And I know it's not your official decision to make, but when you think of the number 14, the number 3, and the number 24, are those things going to hang in the Alex G. Spano Center?
Yeah, we'll see. That's not my. I don't know if that's my call yet, but you know, they've done this university proud, and you know, you don't leave with a lot after your career's done. You know, maybe some gear, and that's about it. But any trophies, any success, any WNIT trophies, all that stays at the on campus. But the relationships that they built with one another, that's the one thing they'll take with them, and they'll be lasting.
Yeah, and then one last one for me is, when you look towards the future, you've seen this team kind of come together. It was the 3 seniors and then a lot of new faces in new places. Who are some of those people you think are going to lead Pacific basketball to heights in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw a little bit of it this tournament, and Marina and Sydney, and the way that they stepped up. Nia Lowry's had a really good year off the bench and just learning to take more on her shoulders. And I think Lauren showed some ups and as well, some positives. And then, you know, Daria as a freshman has got to learn behind 2 really good point guards in Anaya and Liz. And I think she'll be able to put a whole lot more weight on her shoulders as well.
You mentioned their depth. It looks like they're a difficult team to deal with because they can kind of come at you in different ways. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, no, I honestly, Cambridge does such a good job. I have a ton of respect for Washington State, and their depth got us. I mean, they went a lot deeper, and you could see it by bench production in terms of points, but also on the rebounds. It's hard to maintain and sustain if they're able to kind of keep it going on any substitution, and they were able to do that today. But their length is problematic as well. They clog a lot of the driving lanes, and we were trying to get to the rack and trying to get to the free throw line, but they did a good job defensively and staying long and staying in those gaps.
Were you surprised that Anaya was as assertive as she was? Because she kind of acted like the shots just fell. But I mean, I've watched you guys a lot of times, and I don't remember her thinking she was the scorer as much as she said.
If you watch a couple, I mean, there's a couple of years ago at LMU, I can think of, you know, instances in Spanos as well, where all of a sudden that switch just flips, and she's really aggressive, and she's looking for her shot, and you know, she talked about being a little frustrated with her own production, I would say, not performance, but just the production the last couple of games, and you could, you know, hear it in her voice this morning at pregame, and you could tell she was going to go out and try to be assertive, and it gave us a really good lift at the beginning of the game.
Most points she scored since her 7th college game.
Yeah, at Oregon State, right? Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys.